Hi and welcome to Aquatic Mike. It's been a while since I provided you with a new spawning video. So I've compiled some footage from various spawns that I've seen of Hoplisoma concolor. Here we've got the fish. The footage is taken over several spawns of them, so the tank may not look alike throughout all the footage, but here you can see a T positioning of the fish. The male in the front with the slightly elongated dorsal fin, and the female stood closest to us now, chipping. The male ejaculated some semen there, and the female is kind of blowing the semen out towards her pelvic area, where she's dropping a few eggs as to fertilize them. And there's also another male there sparring with the one that were in the T positioning now, fighting over breeding with the female. They have never harmed each other. There are Corydoras fish that may harm one another, but these have not. So the first time I spawned these, or at least the information that I'll provide you with is from I think it's from 2020 anyway. At that time there were 6 males in the tank and there were 4 females. And the tank that you can see them in now is 60 centimeters wide, 35 centimeters high, and 30 centimeters deep. The water measurements were a pH of 7, so neutral, and KH of 2, and the conductivity was 94 TDS, or twice that in microsiemens. The temperature was 24.1 degrees Celsius, and the tank consists, or the bottom is sand substrate. There's a couple of burnt bamboo tubes that you can see in there. There's also some blackbeard algae. In the rear left corner there is an Aquatic turbo pump 500, and there is some Java fern, and there's also some Java moss, and there's a spawning mop which you can barely see towards the right. There's a mangrove root lying in the rear right corner. There's also an Hamburg mutton filter outside of the camera angle now, but on the right hand side as we're watching the footage, you can see it now, the Hamburg mutton filter. And there's also a heater, although the heater isn't turned on. Prior to spawning they were fed diet that consisted of Vitalis catfish pellets, and also some tetratabimine, as this is a long time ago. There was also some freeze-dried tubifex, and occasionally live blackworms, and frozen bloodworms, like once a week or twice a week maybe. And they were also fed cyclops. I don't think that I had any black mosquito larvae at this time. I haven't put down any notes regarding that, at least. They put down the first time a total of 20 eggs. They were around about 2 millimeters in size, so they put down rather large eggs. they seem to deposit rather few eggs at a time, maybe 1, 2, 3 eggs at each like T position. The eggs were fertile to a percentage of 90, and out of those 90%, 61% hatched, and it took 3 days until the fry hatched from the eggs. They were free swimming within 2 days. I fed the fry micrograms at the start of their life. I put together a video of their fry's development, where I'll be speaking a little bit more regarding how I reared and raised the fry. It took about 10 weeks until the fry reached adult coloration. I did not measure the fry at 7 days nor 1 month. However, I've taken a measurement at 2 months, and they measured 2.4 centimeters total length. So between the front of the fish until the tail fin, so the entire length of the fish. I've found eggs on the glass quite often. I found eggs on silicone. I found eggs in the Java moss, on the Java fern, in the blackbeard algae. I sometimes find eggs in those burnt bamboo caves, like they're open in both ends, so close to the opening on either end. They're not all that hard to spawn, I wouldn't say, and no special trigger was needed. They get water changes every now and again, often like a week to 10 days. And here we can see another T positioning. Sadly, the marking on the tank shades the female, or covers her slightly, but the male's in the front and the female's behind. So the female is currently making sure that the sperm gets to the eggs, and they often take these small rests after the eggs have been dropped down in the pelvic fins, and then she starts swimming around again, and she goes to deposit a new batch. And it was barely visible now, but you can see that her pelvic fins are clamped, and now she's about to swim off and find a good place to put down them eggs. I also found eggs on the intake of the Aquatic turbo filter, by the way. And here we've got some other footage from another day when they were spawning. I bred a few species, but I haven't been in the fish room, or so to speak, at all of their spawning, so I don't have footage of quite a few of the species that I've gotten to spawn, sadly. But I'll try to put up more spawning videos all throughout the channel's life, I guess. They aren't all that hard to spawn, and no special trigger was needed other than like the regular water change. When water changes are done, we often drop the temperature. How much varies, but the water temperature is dropped often a couple of degrees Celsius at least. And rearing the fry of this species was pretty straightforward. I didn't run into any large problems. There are species that is a bit well, how can I put this? They're not as eager to eat as some of the other species, so they're best kept with similar species that are eaten a bit more gracefully as compared to some others, so I would not put them with the same sized Osteogaster aenea or Aspidoras raimundi or Aspidoras pusillus or Osteogaster schultzi or Osteogaster venezuelanus or something. I would put them with, for example, Hoplisoma, Oepocayense and Hoplisoma duplicarium and species like that are a bit more graceful when they approach food. Then they'll have an equal chance to get to eat at least. The eggs were withdrawn, or I picked the eggs out when they were done spawning. I always do, from near enough all of the species, even the pygmy cories most of the time. I put them in a container with some like 2 liter of aquarium water, and then like some 3 drops of methylene blue, although the amount of methylene blue, despite using 3 drops, may not be the same for us, as it depends on the strength of the solution. I've made mine myself. I don't remember what strength right now, but this species will not spawn as often as some other species, or at least they don't for me, and they won't produce as many eggs most of the time. In some spawns I've had like less than 10, and I guess the most that I've had is around 50, I believe, from this species, although it depends on how you condition the fish and so on and so forth, of course, as well, but you shouldn't expect them to produce as much as some other species, at least. That might also be why they're not as cheap as the Osteogaster aenea, for example, in the trade. I earlier mentioned what I'd been feeding them with. I just saw that I forgot to mention that I fed them with Ceraviformo and JBL Novotab at the time as well, every now and again. I believe this was all information that I had regarding this species, and please like, subscribe, share and comment, and thank you for staying with me until now. Take care.